Hi girls, let me begin today's lesson. So let me remind you, what did we learn in the previous lesson? In the previous lesson, we learned how to factor a polynomial on this form, which is equal x to the power 2 plus x to the power 2 plus bx plus c. So that's what we discussed before about. That's what we factored in the previous lesson. So in the previous lesson, we learned how to factor this one, which means I will try to find two polynomials. Once I multiply them together to get this one, I will get this one. That's what we did. The procedure was, I will look for a number. Once I multiply it, I will get C, the number corresponding to C, and then I will add them, I will get the number that's B. Let's see what we will gonna do if we have here A. If we have a coefficient for x to the power 2. For this one, what will I gonna do? Let's see what we are supposed to do. So, in today's lesson, we are going to factor trinomials of the form, this form, which is ax to the power 2 plus bx plus c, and that's what I introduced for you. If you can notice that, so 6x to the power 2 plus 23x plus 7, that's this 23x, you can separate them like this, am I right? Which is the opposite part. You can separate them into 2x plus 21x. So once you add them, you will go back to this one, 23. So I did not do anything. I just factored this 23. Then I tried to take the common factor between the first two terms and the second two terms. That's what I did. So I factored 2x here from this part. The greatest common factor between these two, you can, if you notice that, this will be 2x, and then the remaining inside the 3x plus 1. Same thing with this one. The common factor between these two terms is 7. So inside the 3x plus 1, then you will notice that these two terms and these two terms that inside the parentheses exactly same. You are going to take them exactly as a common factor, which is 3x plus 1, then the remaining is 2x plus 7. It's like you will pull it out and then write it alone and then the rest you will write it inside parentheses. If you want to check your answer, you can go back to the previous lessons that we learned before and try to distribute and multiply these two polynomials or binomials. Let me learn you what is this kind exactly, which is binomial because it has two terms. So then you will distribute it, then you will get exactly the same as this one. Let me give you this one. Miss, what is the procedure? According to what should I work with this one? I can say 5x plus 6x. I can say that, but sometimes I cannot work with it. So, Miss, what am I supposed to do? Do we have a specific procedure? I will tell you, yes, dear, you have specific procedure. Let's try to tell you and show you what is this procedure. First of all, you know that this is corresponding to A. So the coefficient of x to the power 2 is 5. And the number that I have alone, which is the constant, is 2. Take these two numbers, multiply them together in a corner. So say AC equals to 10. Right? Why I'm saying it's 10? Because here, this is A, this is B, this is C. So AC, it's 10. A times C, which is 5 times 2, it's 10. All right, now I will do what? I will think about, go back to the previous lesson. Think about two numbers. Once you add them, you will get the number that in the middle, 11. Once you multiply this number, you will get this one, AC, which is 10. What are these two numbers that I will work with them on that. These two numbers, I can say 10 plus 1 is 11, while 10 times 1 is 10. Great, that's what I need. So I'm going to separate this one as this. So I'm going to say that is 5x to the power 2. I will drop it down. Then I will take 11x. I will separate them. I will write them plus 10. Let me say plus x, 1x, which is x, plus 10x plus 2. Now, what will I gonna do? I'm going to take greatest common factor between these two terms and between these two terms. What do I want to get? I will try to find two polynomials exactly the same each other so I can take it as a common factor again. So the basic idea here around taking the common factor. So what is the common factor in this part? The common factor in this part, it is x. Why? Because this one I can say it's x, and 5, I have to keep it inside. So 5 inside, I will keep 5x. This x, I already took it out. So plus 1, the remaining nothing from this one. The coefficient is 1, so I will leave it inside. If you distribute again, you will go back to this one. Plus, what is the common between them here? The common between them here, it is 2. So you can say the common between them here, you can say that is 2 times 5 times x. So the common between them is 2. So I can take 2 outside and leave inside 5x plus, I took this 2 out, so plus 1. Great, that's what I need. Why I need this one? Let me tell you why I need this one. Now I have this exactly the same as this one. Can I take it outside? Yes, I can take it outside. So I'm going to take this one outside. So let me write this down. So I will change it into Ben. So that will be 5x plus 1. The remaining from this one, it is this side, put parentheses, x plus 2. Try to practice this. Done. If you want to check your answer, you can just distribute and multiply again. Multiply these two polynomials, so you will go back to this one, then you will go back to the same exactly at this one. Let me solve with you. Got it? Got it will tells you that 6x to the power 2 plus 13x plus 5. If you are in general solving a test or anything, you are going to say, all right, miss, first of all, I will multiply 6 and 5 so I can see the numbers that I need to factor them. So, miss, what is AC? AC will tells you 6 times 5. All right, miss, it's 30. Sorry, it's 30. Now, miss, I'm going to think about two numbers. Once I add them, I will get 13, sorry. Once I add, here is the addition. Once I add them, I will get 13. Once I multiply them, I will get 30. So, how can I do that? I'm going to think about these two numbers. So you might think in many numbers. In the beginning, sometime you will think, okay, miss, can I try 5 and 6? No, if I add them, I will get 11. This is not the thing that I need. But if you try another numbers, make sure that you try some numbers until you get what you need. So if you try, this is so easy to think about. Why this is so easy to think about? Because you can say 10 times 3. If you multiply them, you will get 30. While if you add them, you will get 13. Well done. That's what I need. Now go back and continue your work. So 6x to the power 2 plus 13x plus 5. I rewrite it now to show you that what will I gonna do with this part. So what will I gonna do with this part is just rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite it into 3x plus 10x. Then I will write the remaining thing from my polynomial. From this part, I'm going to drop it down. 6x to the power 2 plus 5. That's what I did here. So you might, there is maybe a question come to your mind. Miss, why you wrote 3x first, then 10x? Why you don't write 10x first and then 3x? I'll tell you why. Because I noticed that here is 5. So 5 and 10, there is common between them, which is 5. If I factor this 10, I can find 5 as a common factor between them. While there is no common factor between 3 and 5. That's why I wrote 3x first, then 10x. To make sure that these two together, I can factor them, and these two together. That's why I did this one. Now, let me see what is the common factor between these. The common factor between these, if you try to make the same thing that we did before, you will find that 3x and then inside parentheses. What is the number once you multiply this 3x by? You will get this 6x squared. It is 2x, right? And that's what we learned. I'm not going to repeat the previous lesson. If you need to find the greatest common factor between two terms, please go back to the previous lesson. So remember, 6x squared, it is like 2 times 3 times x times x. And I'm confident my students very excellent. So, and then I have 3x. So 3x, that is like 3 and times x. So these two together, so the common factor is a 3x, and that's what I did. What is the remaining? 2x, and here is nothing. That means it's a plus 1. If there is nothing, that means a plus 1. If you talk it all of it, remember, once you multiply again, you will get these two terms again. All right, what is the common between these two? The common between these two is 5. What is the remaining? 2x plus 1. Great. That's what I need. This exactly the same as this one. So just take it outside. 2x plus 1. And then close your parentheses. Then the remaining. What is the remaining from this one? 3x plus 5. That's the remaining. If you talk, it's like you are pulling this part out. That's what we are doing. Let me give you more exercise to make sure that you are okay with the idea. So here, in ax squared plus bx plus c, suppose ac is positive and b is negative, what do you know about the factor of ac? So the factor of ac is, I will just explain it for you in the coming exercises, because here, since they are letters, you might not get the answer very well. Because if you have AC equals a positive number, then I'm telling you that B is negative number, and that's what we're looking for here. That means you need two numbers. Once you multiply them, a negative number for A, a negative times a negative number. Because these two negative numbers, once you add them, you will get negative. But once you multiply them, you will get positive. That's just a quick idea about B. Let me show you in the coming slides. But before I show you in the coming slides, let me solve with you some extra exercises. So I prepared for you some extra exercises. Let's try exercise 8. So for exercise, I'm going to solve with you only 2 exercises. So I'm going to solve exercise 8 and 12. So for exercise 8 is, here you have What is AC? First of all, I'm looking for AC. AC is equals to what? 2 times 6 is 12. All right, now I'm going to think about two numbers. Once I add them, I will get what I have in the middle here, 13. So it is 13. Once I multiply them, I will get 12. That's so easy to think about. 1 times 12 will give me 12, while 1 plus 12 is 13. That's so easy. Now I can factor this part. All right, let me rewrite for you. 2x to the power 2 plus, I will rewrite my question first, 13x plus 6. Well, I just need to rewrite this part here down. I'm going to write, first, I'm going to ask myself, all right, if I write here 12x, okay, there is common factor between them. But if I write 1x here for this part, so it is not useful because there is no common between them. But if I write 2x to the power 2 plus 1x, I can have common between them 1 plus 12x plus 6. Great, here I have common between them as 6. Great, I can work with that. I'm going to take x outside, so the remaining is 2x plus 1. So if I multiply this, I will get this one. So just make sure that you factor it. Plus, now what is common factor between 12 and 6? It is 6. Inside, the remaining is here 2x plus, I took all the 6, so that means it's a plus 1. Great, that's what I need. This exactly the same as this one. So just pull it out. 2x plus 1 times the remaining x plus 6. Now, you will go to question 12. Let me rewrite it first. 6r to the power 2 minus 23r plus 20. So, again, I will go in my corner. What is AC? I'll ask myself. A, it is 6 times C, 20. So I will multiply them directly. Immediately, you can just multiply them by calculator and then put them down. 6 times 2, it's a 12, and 0, it's 112. 120, sorry. 120. Now I'm going to think about two numbers. Once you add them, you will get what you have in the middle, negative 23. Negative 23. Once you multiply them, you will get 120. All right, that means what will I gonna do? I will think about these two numbers. But for sure, these two numbers must be negative because I have multiplication. So in multiplication, I needed to have it positive. So I'm going to think about these two numbers. So once I think about these two numbers, definitely, girls, you are going to try many numbers. But since I tried many of them, and then finally I figured it out, since you have also calculator, you are going to try and think about what is these two factors for 120. You might try in the beginning, 12 and 10. But if you add 12 and 10, you will get a 22. It is not a 23, so not wrong. No, you don't need to have this. Then you will try many number until you get the number that we want. I found it 8 and 15. So once you add these 8 and 15, once you multiply them, you will get 120. But I need to have them here negative. So I will gonna say negative 8 and negative 15. All right. Same thing here. If you take negative 8 times negative 15, once you multiply them, you will get 120. So just separate this one. Try to factor it. Let me factor it. So 6r, I will drop it down, 6r to the power 2. Now you will think about what is the number from these that you will put it beside this one as a factor for this. You will think about, you will notice that 8 and 6, yes, there is common factor between them. So you will gonna put negative 8r here beside this one, minus 15r plus 20. Well, that's great. Now just take the common factor between them. What is the common factor between them? For sure, 2r. For the numbers that I have, the common factor between them 2. And there is 1r. So here you have inside, the remaining is, what is the thing that once you multiply it by 2, you will get 6? It's a 3. r. Once you multiply r by r, you will get r squared. Minus the remaining here, 4r. All right. Now, I just need you notice one small thing here. Negative 5r, you can say that's minus 20, isn't it? Is this plus is minus 20? Yes. So let me take one from these minus. So I'm going to say minus 5 between them. What is the remaining inside? R, the remaining is R minus 20. If I take 5 outside, what is the number when I multiply it by 5? I will get 20. 4. Sorry, I forgot to, I wrote here R again. If I took R outside, I don't need to write it. So there is no R here. And that is here, I missed to write 3 here. 3. So 5 times the 3, it's 15. That is 15. Great. I need this one and this one exactly same. That's what I have. Just pull it out. 3r minus 4 times 2r minus 5. I'm done. Let me move to the next problem, which is exactly the same idea. All this concept, all this lesson is moving around only one idea. Let me work on that. Here, once we have AC negative, that's what I was telling you in Got It 1. So if AC is negative, let's see. AC here, 3 times negative 15, 3 times negative 15, which is AC. Let me write for you. I'm doing AC, which is equals negative 45. Now, my concern, my question, I need two numbers. Once I add them, I will get 4. So the addition with the one that in the middle. Once I add them, I will get 4. Once I multiply them, I will get negative 45. The one that I found, that's why I needed 45. These two numbers is just easy to find, 9 and 5, but one from them should be negative, so I can get negative 45. I'll go and look for my addition. If I put the negative with the 5, it will be, my answer will be correct because I need this positive. So I'm going to put 5, but I will keep my 9 negative. So, sorry, my negative with the 5, not with the 9. So if I will get 4, I will put the positive with the 9. I will keep -5 here, so I can get, once I add them, I will get 4. Once I multiply them, I will get -45. All right, I'm going to rewrite this here. I will write my factorization here. Again, I will think about which one should I put it beside the 3x squared and which one should I put it beside -15. If you notice that if you put 9 beside this, it will work because there is common factor between them 3. If you put 5 with this 3, it's not working. For this reason, I'm going to write the 9 with beside 3x squared, and I'm going to put the 5 beside -15. All right, let's do that. I'm going to drop a 3x to the power 2. Now, the factorization for this 4, which is the one that I found here, it is plus 9x minus 5x, drop this one, minus 15. So that is here. What is the common factor between them? The common factor is 3x outside, inside. The remaining from this one, only 1x, right? If you distribute again, you will get this one, plus 3, isn't it? I took x outside. I took one from the 3 outside. So 9x, just to remind you, 9x, it is 3 times 3 times x. If I took 3x, the remaining is a 3. That's what I need. Minus, just take this minus 5. The remaining is inside x. Keep in your mind, you took minus outside. Then the remaining is a plus 15. So what is the number once you multiply it by -5? You will get 15. It's a 3. Make sure that your sign is correct. Negative, always try to check in your mind, distribute in your mind. -5 times x, -5x, -5 times x times 3 is -15. All right, that's what I need, and I got exactly these, exactly same. Just pull it out. X plus 3, take it out. These exactly same. It's like the common factor between them. The remaining is a 3x minus 5. That's the answer. Let's move to the next part. You might see it in your book like a lot of explanation and a lot of discussion. They are showing you that not all of them work. You might have two numbers, exactly the same two numbers. Once you add them, you will get the B, the one that in the middle. Once you multiply them, you will get AC, which is these two numbers once you multiply them. Let's move on this one. Here, we are going to say, so here we have the AC. What is AC? Which is these two numbers. So AC will gives me 10 times -14. It is -140. All right, I'm going to think about two numbers. Once I multiply them, I will get -140. Once I add them, I will get what I have. So the addition for this here, 31. So I'm going to get equals to 31 positive. For sure, you are going to try many numbers, but let me tell you what I tried. I tried many numbers, but once you tried, let me tell you, like according to the book way, just a quick, I'm not recording it, but I'll write it here. If you try here, you might say, Miss, okay, I'm going to try 7 times 20. That's an easy number, 7 times 20. But so 7 times 2 is 14. 14 and I will drop, it's 140. Okay, miss, what one from the negative? But once you add them, will you get 31? No, 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 no. So that's wrong. Once you think about 70 and 2, all right, that is 140, but once you, one from them should be negative. If I put the negative here or the negative here, I'm not getting 31. So what should I do? So I'm going to think about, can I say this is 35 easier? So can I say here, instead of this one, can I say, for sure you have calculator, I'm pretty sure you will try the numbers easier, because once you try, so if you say 35 times 4, will I get 140? Yes, 140. Just keep one from them negative. Keep this one negative. Once I add them, will I get 31? Yes, I am. So I will say 35 times minus 4, which is 140. Because as you know, 35 times 2, it is 70. 70 times 2 is 140, and that's so easy to find. Then here 35 in minus 4. If you notice that this lesson, depending on sign rule 100%. If your sign rule from grade 7 is great and is strong, you will feel this lesson is so easy. Now let's factor this one. I will think about how can I factor it. I have 35 and negative 4x I will write. Which one should I write it here on this side? And which one should I write it in the other side? I realized that 35, I cannot have factor between 14 and 35. So let me write 35 here with this here. 35x plus, oh sorry, let me write minus immediately. So that is minus 4x. If you add these are like terms, you will get 31x. So here you have, I'll drop the others, 10x squared plus minus 14. Now I'm going to take the factor between these. So what is the greatest common factor here? 5. For sure I will 5x. Always look at the smallest power. Take it outside. So here I have, take the smallest power, take it outside, and these numbers, the factor between them 5. The remaining from the 10, 2. X plus, if you took 5, what is the number once you multiply it by 35? You will get you will get 35. It is 7. X, I took it outside. Close your parentheses. Now, can I take 4? No, I have to take only 2 from the 4. I will take 2. So what is the remaining inside? If I took 2, the remaining is 2. And x. If I took negative 2 from this one, how can I get 14? What is the number when I multiply it by negative 2? I will get negative 14. Plus 7. Be careful on the sign rule. Plus 7. Check. Negative 2 times 2x, it is negative 4x. Negative 2 times 7, it is negative 14. Excellent. These two exactly same. Pull it out. 2x plus 7 times 5x minus 2. Great, that's what I need. Let me move to the exercises. So I'm going to solve with you the exercises, the related exercises to this one. I'm going to solve exercise 14 and exercise 18. So let's try to solve exercise 14 and exercise 18. The rest exactly the same idea. For exercise 14, I'm going to think about, so that is exercise 14. I'm going to think about two numbers, A, C. Once I multiply them, I will get 5 times negative 4, it is negative 20. Now, go back to the previous lesson. Think about two numbers. Once you add them, you will get the number in the middle, 19. Once you multiply them, you will get the number that in the, where is the mouse? I'm trying, okay. So once you multiply them, you will get negative 20. That's so easy to find. I can say 20 times -1 will give me negative times negative 20. Once you say 20 plus -1, you will get 19. Great. So let me rewrite my question. 5z to the power squared plus 19z minus 4. I'm going to rewrite this part. So this part will gonna be, here I have, I'm going to write my 20 here. You can write the opposite, it's up to you. No, I need to have the factor between, no, I'm going to write the opposite. Why am I going to write the opposite? Because if I put 1x and 4, there is no common factor between them. That's why. So that's why I'm going to write z minus z plus 20z. Will anything will change? No. Minus z plus 20z will give me 19z. I did not do anything. I will drop -4. I'll drop 5z to the power 2. All right, I'm going to take the common factor between them. The common factor only the variable z. Inside 5z minus 1. Here I'm going to take only the positive. I can take only, I can take 4 plus 4. What is the remaining? So 4 and 4 here, right? This one I can say it's a 5 times 4. So I can, the remaining is 5z minus 4. Great job. That's what I need. This exactly the same as this one. So just pull it out. 5z minus 4 inside the parentheses. Z, what is stuck here, plus 4. Now let me solve with you 18. So the answer for 18 here, 4w squared minus 5w minus 6 in a corner. What is AC? AC will gives you 4 times -6. It is -24. So think about two numbers. I'm sorry for this handwriting again. So what is the two numbers? Once you multiply them, you will get -24. Once you add them, you will get B, the number that in the middle. What I have in B? -5. Definitely, you will try sometime. You will figure it out immediately in the first minute, but sometime you need to try several times. I can tell you that these are easy because you can say 8, -8, and 3 will give you 24. Once you add -8 and 3, which if you have -8, so according to the sign, you will get -5. Great, that's what I need. So I'm going to write 8 beside 4w to the power 2. Why I'm going to write it like this? So the factorization for this one will be -8w plus 3w minus 6. So why I wrote this? Because I can take common factor for w. The remaining inside w minus 2. This side I can take out 3, only 3, plus 3. So what is the remaining? W minus 2. Why? Because 3 times w, 3w, 3 times -2, it is -6. Just take this outside. W minus 2 inside the remaining 4w plus 3. So that's for a problem 2. Let's go and see problem 3. All this lesson, exactly the same idea. It's true here they are telling you the area of rectangle is this one, 2x squared minus 13x minus 7. What are the possible dimension of the rectangle? Use factoring, which means they want you factor this one. How can you find? You know the rectangle, the area of the rectangle, and we repeated this several times, is height by base. So height by base. So you just need to find two things. Once you multiply them, you will get this one. So to factor this one, just exactly the same idea. What is AC? AC will gives you 2 times negative 7. It is negative 14. Think about another two numbers. Once you multiply them, you will get negative 14. Once you add them, you will get the number that in the middle in your negative 13. That's so easy to find. 14 and 1. Which one should be negative? This one. Because negative 14 plus 1 will be negative 13. I'm done. So just take your factorization for this one. 2x squared plus x. Miss, why don't you put the x with the other one? Because I'm telling you there is 7. I can see directly 7 and 14. There is common factor between them. All right, I understood. Let's move. So minus 14x minus 7. Just take outside here, common factor between them, x. Inside 2x plus 1 if I took the x outside. Distribute, you will get this again. Here, take the negative outside, take 7. What is the remaining inside? 2x, because once you multiply this one by this one again, you will get this term. How can I get this term? Plus 1. This exactly the same as this one. So that will be 2x plus 1. The remaining is x minus 7. You are done like that. Let me give you got it, which is related to this one. Think about two numbers. Once you multiply them, you will get 8 times 15, 8 times 15, which is will gives you, just to try it, 8 times 15, 8 times 15, we just did it, which is 8 times 15, which is 120. What is the two number? Once you multiply them, you will get 120. Once you add them, you will get the one that in the middle, 22. So, what is these two numbers? Think about them. You will try many numbers. So once you just easy and basic, you can say 12, miss, I know 12 times 10. All right, when I add them, I will get a 22. Great, I found them immediately. So just write the factorization for this one. Put 10 here, this side, because there is common between 10 and 15. All right, 8x squared plus 12x plus 10x plus 15. Now, the common factor between these is 4x. Then inside the remaining, what is the number when I multiply it by? I will get, so the greatest common factor between these two is 4x. So inside 2x, what is the remaining from the 12? 3. Plus, if you take here outside 5, the remaining here inside 2x plus 3. Great, I have this one exactly the same as this one. So 2x plus 3 times 4x plus 5. That's for this lesson. I'm going to give you the exercises in the coming, inshallah, lesson. In the next lesson. Good luck, girls. Bye. See you.